Across the scorched peaks of the Northern Rockies, a lonely shadow haunts the desolate, dust-choked mountain ridges today. Severe drought has withered the ancient valleys, turning once lush timberland into a vast, bone-dry graveyard of stone. Kaelen, a magnificent gray wolf with battle-scarred silver fur, treads silently through the swirling, hot mountain dust. Driven from his ancestral home, the deposed alpha carries the heavy, agonizing burden of a bitter, haunting exile. Every sharp gust of dry wind carries painful memories of the violent betrayal that shattered his peaceful realm. Sun-baked animal bones glisten in dry creek beds, serving as silent testimonies to the relentless drought consuming everything. Hungry scavengers circle overhead, but Kaelen moves onward, his amber eyes burning with stubborn, enduring wild resilience. Ribs show clearly beneath his silver coat, starvation clawing at his belly, yet his inner spirit remains unbowed. Weeks of solitary wandering have transformed the noble leader into a hardened, vigilant phantom of the rocky peaks. He pauses atop a high, jagged crag, scanning the wide horizon for any signs of pursuing rogue scouts. Below him, the vast expanse of dry gulches reflects the harsh, unrelenting glare of the hot mid-afternoon sun. A distant golden eagle cries out sharply, breaking the heavy, suffocating silence that hangs over the withered high country. Kaelen lowers his massive head, sniffing the dry earth, desperately hunting for clean water that no longer flows. He fondly remembers when these soaring ridges echoed with the proud, harmonious morning howls of his former united pack. Now only the hollow hiss of hot wind responds to his quiet, agonizingly lonely presence upon this desolate slope. The nightmare first began when a desperate, ruthless rogue wolf pack descended from the frozen, barren northern barrens. Led by Brutus, a massive dark-furred tyrant, the ruthless invaders fought with merciless, totally unforgiving animal savagery. Brutus took cruel advantage of the crippling drought, seizing the valley's last precious water source by brutal force. Severely outnumbered and betrayed from within, Kaelen fought fiercely to shield his beloved pack from total, violent destruction. Overpowered by Brutus's immense physical strength, Kaelen was cast out into the unforgiving wilderness alone and heavily battered. Deep, painful scars across Kaelen's shoulder remain as permanent physical reminders of that tragic, blood-soaked territorial battle. He desperately believes his mate and young pups were scattered into hiding across the treacherous, perilous southern mountain slopes. With every passing sunrise, the haunting, agonizing question of their survival tears relentlessly at his weary, aching heart. Suddenly, a faint rustle in the dry mountain brush snaps Kaelen back into sharp, instant and guarded alertness. His ears pivot sharply toward a high, rocky ledge, where loose, dry gravel shifts softly under careful, stealthy footfalls. A sleek, fiery russet-furred female wolf leaps down onto the granite shelf, her striking golden eyes flashing intensely. Her muscular frame and agile posture reveal a fierce, independent survivor accustomed to existing on the harsh wilderness edges. Kaelen lowers his powerful body into a cautious defensive pose, low rumbles vibrating deep within his broad chest. The russet wolf steps forward surprisingly calmly, displaying no immediate aggression, her bushy tail held steady and neutral. "Stand down, exiled king," she breathes quietly, her sharp gaze scanning the dense, surrounding timbered mountain slope cautiously. "I am Vanya," she announces softly, "and you are standing in extremely dangerous, heavily scout-patrolled territory right now." Kaelen tests the shifting breeze, detecting her unique scent, a rich mixture of pine needles, mountain stream, and dry ridge. "Why approach a fallen exile?" Kaelen growls guardedly, his powerful posture refusing to show any vulnerability whatsoever today. Vanya's expression turns exceptionally grave as she approaches another cautious step, her ears slanting slightly backward in genuine concern. Because Brutus is no longer satisfied with merely controlling the valley floor, Vanya reveals in a hushed, tense whisper. Kaelen's heart freezes instantly as her grim words cut through the hot mountain air like an icy, unexpected frost. He has dispatched specialized hunting squads to ruthlessly exterminate every single remaining member of your noble bloodline. Your scattered packmates are actively being tracked down one by one across the outer timber lines right now. Sharp panic ignites inside Kaelen as horrific visions of his hidden mate and defenseless young pups fill his mind. "Where are they hiding?" Kaelen demands urgently, taking an authoritative swift step toward the fiery tracker wolf before him. They retreated far beyond the treacherous Black River Canyon, Vanya answers smoothly, watching his intense, emotional reaction carefully. Brutus's elite death scouts are rapidly closing in from the north to trap them against the sheer cliff drop-offs. Precious time is running out fast. If Brutus reaches them first, Kaelen's family will face swift and total annihilation. I must cross Black River immediately, Kaelen states firmly, his gravelly voice carrying unbreakable, deeply desperate resolve today. Vanya shakes her head grimly, warning him of the violent, deadly currents swelling rapidly from sudden high mountain downpours. The narrow canyon paths are lethal, and Brutus's scouts aggressively guard every known crossing point along the gorge. You cannot navigate those labyrinthine granite cliffs alone without being spotted and ambushed instantly, Vanya adds quite firmly. Kaelen looks deep into Vanya's bright, intelligent eyes, recognizing a resilient fellow survivor who truly knows these deadly trails. Guide me across the river, Kaelen implores urgently, and I promise to stand beside you against Brutus's dark tyranny. Vanya hesitates for a brief, fleeting second, assessing the immense danger before offering a resolute, sharp nod of agreement. We must move fast under the cover of dusk, Vanya says softly, leaping toward the hidden ravine cliff trail. Together, the silver exile and the fiery russet tracker dash through the shadowy, dense mountain brush in perfect unison. The fiery sun dips beneath western peaks, casting long, eerie purple shadows across the rugged, boulder-strewn wilderness terrain. High above them, dark storm clouds gather quickly, promising torrential rain and churning, dangerous river waters ahead. Every sudden rustle of dry leaves makes them pause, ears strained for the heavy paw-steps of approaching enemy patrols. Vanya skillful leads them through tight granite passages, cleverly skirting around known rogue outpost positions with absolute precision. Kaelen easily matches her swift pace, his weary body fueled by pure adrenaline and desperate, fierce protective fatherly instinct. They suddenly spot fresh wolf tracks in the damp dirt, heavy, broad prints clearly belonging to Brutus's brutal enforcers. They are extremely close, Vanya whispers softly, crouching low behind a mossy granite boulder overlooking the deep gulch. Down in the gulch, two large dark rogue scouts prowl silently, constantly sniffing the swirling wind for lingering scent trails. Kaelen holds his breath tightly, every muscle coiled like a spring, ready to strike if their cover is blown. Luckily, the shifting mountain wind carries their scent away, allowing the heavy enemy patrol to pass by totally undetected. Signaling with a swift flick of her tail, Vanya glides down a steep, loose gravel chute toward the roaring river. The distant roar of rushing water grows steadily louder, echoing ominously through the darkening, steep rock canyon walls around them. Black River Canyon opens vast before them, a terrifying, jagged chasm carved deep into the ancient, slick black bedrock. White water churns violently below in the gloom, throwing cold, mist high into the biting mountain evening air. Deep twilight settles completely over the rugged wilderness, painting the dangerous landscape in dark indigo and obsidian shades. Vanya halts at the edge of a narrow timber land bridge spanning the churning, thunderous black gorge far below them. This is our single crossing point before the storm floods the canyon entirely, she warns him with dark gravity. Kaelen steps up beside her, staring courageously down into the furious, foam-flecked darkness of the roaring river currents. Before they can step onto the slick fallen timber, a sudden bone-chilling howl pierces the quiet night air. The sound is deep, guttural, and terrifyingly familiar, the commanding war horn signal of the ruthless tyrant Brutus himself. Within seconds, answering howls erupt from all directions around them, encircling the canyon rim in tight, lethal formation. Kaelen spins around swiftly, his silver fur bristling high as powerful dark silhouettes step out from the tree line. Glowing yellow eyes gleam menacingly through the darkening gloom, burning with fierce predatory intensity and cold, ruthless fury. At the center stands Brutus himself, a colossal black-furred behemoth covered in grim scars from countless bloody victories. His deep snarl reverberates ominously through the canyon, echoing off wet granite rock walls like terrifying rolling thunder. Did you truly believe you could escape my reach, Kaelen? Brutus sneers malevolently, stepping slowly out from shadows. 6 massive rogue enforcers fan out strategically behind Brutus, completely cutting off every single potential land escape route. Vanya bared her razor-sharp white teeth fiercely, standing shoulder to shoulder with Kaelen against the terrifying threat. To their front stands a brutal wall of killers. Directly behind them lies a deadly, roaring water abyss. Brutus smiles viciously, visibly enjoying the cornered, desperate trap his fallen former alpha rival finds himself in tonight. Blinding lightning flashes across the pitch-black sky, illuminating the lethal, tense standoff in a sudden burst of white light. Thunder rumbles deafeningly overhead as Kaelen prepares to make his final, impossible stand against overwhelming, murderous odds. Cornered tightly against the roaring river with Brutus closing in, how can Kaelen and Vanya possibly survive this ambush?